Great. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you.
Nice to see
Yeah,
you.
we can start.
Okay, that's good.
Perfect. I'll share share the screen, and today
Welcome
we
to
thought.
see you.
Great. So we thought of so what is our natural state. It was also inspired about through having the request about the doggies, and we asked actually Adrian in Topema to film a little video, which he's done. We can watch that, just a minute long, but he sends his love, and then so thinking of dogs, it reminded us what's our natural state. Like the dogs are really like natural beings, like yeah, all the animal beings, and so we want to get to know what is our natural state. So this is the theme for today. So by nature, we are naturally beneficial. So open intelligence is our basic nature, our identity. Open intelligence brings us back to our original condition of open-ended benefit creation. So when we hear that, we might not quite know what that means, and then how we are naturally beneficial. And open intelligence being our basic state, our natural identity that we don't have to achieve or get from somewhere. And just thinking about identity, we might have learned like through school or society, generally parents and friends, and just deep belief systems about who we are, what we take ourselves to be, all the data that we accumulated over time to make ourselves into something, maybe a good person, this characteristics. So getting to know something about us that is, naturally beneficial is what the recognition of open intelligence is, and it's our beneficial energy, and practicing short moments aligns us with that beneficial energy, with open intelligence. And our original condition of open-ended benefit creation, like the power to know, the power to respond, the power to use this beneficial energy in whatever circumstances and ways we also are passionate about. So when the sun rises at daybreak, we don't have to wait for it to be warm and brilliant. All of its illuminating qualities are present from the very first moment. It's the same with open intelligence. So here the confirmation of open intelligence being naturally present, being who we are, nothing to create or cultivate, just simply resting in open intelligence makes it more obvious that it's right here. So like sun, the metaphor of the sun is powerful because the sun is naturally present, warm and brilliant, and its illuminating quality is present from the first moment. That's who we are, like naturally beneficial from this moment. Not only when we recognize open intelligence, just already, but the confidence in that grows with relying on open intelligence and recognizing open intelligence, gaining more confidence in it. So this is actually a picture from the West Coast where we are. Okay.
By nature, we are naturally beneficial. Our very own open intelligence is naturally endowed with beneficial qualities and activities. This toolkit is already present and all we need for a totally fulfilling life. So we're born with it. It's hardwired into our being. And we just need to have access to it and practice that access, you could say. So the reset button that we spoke about in prior meetings here is like activating those innate qualities. And for most of us, the most immediate first benefit or beneficial quality we can recognize is when we have that instinctive recognition of open intelligence, and the tension of trying to manage our data comes, it comes to a stop. It self-releases, it relaxes in that moment. And that's the immediate benefit of open intelligence. So we don't need to like look for something grand necessarily as beneficial qualities and activities. But then as we settle into that way of being, where this spaciousness of mind and openness of heart, complete perceptual openness in all experience, is more and more our natural way of being, our spontaneous way of being, we also notice how that then spills over into benefiting in circumstances and in relationships. So where maybe before, in certain conversations with people, for example, we might have spun out into our thoughts and emotions, either about the person or about ourselves, and then all we see is those very narrow patterns of data that we've trained ourselves in all our life. In those moments where we rest as open intelligence, this opens up and we can see more clearly and more like widely and broadly what might be of benefit in this circumstance, not as something that we need to then think about and intellectually understand what is of benefit, but more something that is spontaneously responsive. So in a conversation, say, with your partner or your parent or a good friend, in the moment of settling into naturally resting as open intelligence, the flow of the conversation unfolds differently compared to being stuck in our narrow pattern of data that we have processed and regurgitated for our history as well. Open intelligence shines forth data as its dynamic energy of beneficial potency. Oh, we spoke a bit about this, or Kati especially spoke about this, I think 2 meetings back, when that the shining forth data as the dynamic energy of beneficial potency. It's so the expression of benefit is in our thoughts and emotions, qualities and activities. So it isn't that open intelligence is over here with all of its beneficial qualities, and then over here is all the data streams. It's open intelligence shining forth data, just like the sun shines forth its rays. And with the empowerment of open intelligence and the opening of love, essentially, we recognize the wisdom in the dynamic energy, and can respond from this more comprehensive perspective. We instinctively recognize the impossibility of separating open intelligence out from our ordinary data into some kind of special datum existing outside of open intelligence. Yeah, I think I just spoke to that. So do you want to continue here, Kati?
So by nature, we are naturally beneficial. Simply, identity makes up everything you are, everything you take yourself to be. All data defined as positive, negative, and neutral are discovered to be the great spread of equalness, evenness, and immense beneficial energy and potency of open intelligence. Right, so yeah, identity makes up everything. you are everything you take yourself to be, all these data. We have an accumulation of data descriptions, and it's never any extreme there in terms of saying, "Oh, I'm nothing. It's all data," but it's recognizing the essence of these data, and recognizing the equalness and evenness and immense beneficial energy that is inseparable from all these positive and negative data that we describe ourselves to be, or neutral ones. But usually we focus on the positive ones, or we focus on the negative ones, or we go back and forth between them, thinking I'm this and I'm that, and I'm not good enough, or I'm great. And all of this kind of, there's nothing wrong with that particularly. However, when we just define ourselves with these descriptions and don't recognize the basis, the essence of all these data, the beneficial energy and potency of open intelligence within all these data, then we never get to know something about us that is also limitless and empowered. So that's what the introduction to open intelligence ultimately is, to recognize your own unique beneficial energy. And it is, each one is unique, because we all have all kinds of data. And even though we can relate in how we deal with data, everyone has a unique set of data that are there to empower the potency. Every datum has an equal opportunity to reveal its potency. So as all data are equal and even within open intelligence. So that recognition becomes more and more obvious. So that opens up that by nature we are naturally beneficial. It opens up that we get to know ourselves in a beneficial way, and open to ourselves just exactly how we are. It's like getting to know ourselves in our unique ways as being beneficial, and being open to oneself, rather than always trying to criticize everything we do. That's not to say that everyone does that here all the time, but we all know how that is, trying to be better, trying to be different. So that's where open intelligence, opens up a freedom as well. So in open intelligence, degrading and diminishing aspects of data are cleared up, and very powerful energy is released. The powerful energy of beneficial qualities and activities. So that word, like degrading and diminishing aspects of data, where we limit ourselves to that data set that really says, "Oh, you're not good enough, you can't do that, you're wrong with that." So all this is opened up into this empowered beneficial energy. And all these data are left as they are, yet they are not taken to be something that governs us. So there's freedom in immediate perception, and a newfound energy that really can contribute, that allows us to be who we truly are, and discover the beneficial qualities and also the activities that go along with that. Mm-hmm.
By the power of relying on open intelligence, it becomes increasingly obvious and data vanish naturally. Short moments of open intelligence many times become automatic. We do not fall into emphasizing data. The initial short moment of open intelligence may not last long at first. In other words, there may be no real stability. It may almost immediately slip away. That is why we repeat relying on short moments many times. Yeah, we want to keep the moments short, especially in the beginning, so that we're not trying to get into a state of open intelligence, like retreating into a bubble and protecting ourselves from all the thoughts and emotions in our fortress of open intelligence, but just really touching in for a moment in the instinctive recognition, and then continuing our day. So it really is a practice to integrate into everyday life. We don't need to separate out the practice into special moments like sitting on a cushion or doing any other kind of formal practice. We can do that. And if you do have a meditation practice, for example, you can even there incorporate short moments of open intelligence, that recognition of recognizing that, that which is practicing here is already greatly complete. I remember that from a practice that I had where I was observing the different thoughts and emotions and bodily sensations and just very clearly seeing that the awareness that is aware of all of these different ever-changing thoughts, emotions, bodily sensations is completely free. And it doesn't actually matter whether I meditate or not, so to speak. I can always rest as that awareness, as that naked, open intelligence itself. And still, sit and do my practice if that's what I choose to do. So there's nothing wrong with practice. Good. Yeah, you can continue there,
Good.
Kati.
I think that's where we
Is that
pause for
it?
today.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. So that in nature we are entirely beneficial, and maybe we can just watch Adrian's video. He said he'll send more. It's a short one, and I don't know if he is actually seen in the video. I don't think because he animated it a little bit about his dogs. Let's see. I'll show a picture of him. So he's a teacher as well, and he's in Sopema, India. That's where Wangdo Rinpoche has a monastery. He passed away, but the lineage of Wangdo Rinpoche, where Candace Tsetji Rinpoche is a lineage successor of. So we have parts of the monastery sharing with the other lineage successors and taking care of it. There's a huge Padmasambhava statue, also where teachings are given within it. I don't know if you have seen it. I'll ask Adrian to send also some pictures of that. He was focused this week. That's why we did. But we start with this, what he sent now, was his doggy project. As we heard, we wanted to hear things about dogs. So here we go. Okay, I'll share that. And then also the sound will come, hopefully. Okay.
My name is Adrian. I am a Balanced View trainer and have been practicing short moments for nearly 20 years. I live in Sopema, India, where I lead a small charity to care for the many street dogs here. Often, unfortunately, many animals in our care will die. The practice of recognizing open intelligence for short moments has been invaluable as a tool to rely on with all the challenges that I face. Open intelligence is always on, always available, and enables me to carry on providing benefit regardless of circumstances.
Nice. Yes, so that's, and here's Adrian. I mean, this is the last picture I have from him, but we'll have other pictures. But it's cold in the morning, he shares. And then we'll have him share more about his project that he's doing there. And then also show a little bit us around in Sopema. We can organize that. And you also had a doggy dream last night, Rob. Nice. Yeah, that's good. I mean, the dogs. So Adrian, he also lived at the Sweden Center for a long time. Now moved to Sopema, and taking care also of the statue there of Wangdo Rinpoche. You know, sometimes you need paints, and then just has the connection there to the people, the monasteries, and leads that charity with the doggies and takes care. And so people come to him when they need help with their dogs, or he takes care of the street dogs as well. Yeah, so it's very, very sweet, and the teaching can be practiced wherever we are. We don't have to be in Sopema or anywhere, but and like Eden said, he's doing his practice just informs everything he's doing. So it was nice to see all these doggies. And they come to his door, he says, they come to his door where he lives. Or some he also has inside. So he's, yeah, it's very sweet. Good. Let's see if there's anyone who'd like to share something.
Hattie, did you hear Liam's question before, or were you not on the call
Oh,
yet?
yes, I did. I did actually. Yes.
Maybe we
I did.
could start
Share.
there. Is that good?
Did you want to share? Or? I mean, yes, so here in this practice, so with Rinpoche, Tshiji Rinpoche, you know, the Four Mainstays is this platform to empower open intelligence, and for some, there's also the option to who feel drawn to the lineage itself. You can see that you can practice open intelligence just simply by doing that wherever you are, and the Four Mainstays are there so that everyone, no matter what their culture is, can practice open intelligence in short moments. Even then, some people are moved to meditate. That's not necessarily needed with short moments, but it can be beautiful, and short moments is really the ultimate meditation. And I like to sit, and then Rinpoche gives also transmissions that are for people who've done the 12 empowerments and who want to deepen their practice. And it's rooted in the ancient Dzogchen teachings and in the lineage teachings, even though she brings the teaching out of the traditions. There are aspects of it just due to, for people who enjoy the traditional aspects, to practice those. So she teaches certain meditation techniques, and also the yogas, which is Go yoga, Deity yoga, Dakini yoga. So there's different teachings, which ultimately is all about the realization of open intelligence and the nature of mind. So you can see that there are ways to deepen that are optional. Anyway, this I wanted to share just as a context of that. Some then also feel very moved to have a place where they practice meditation, sitting quietly. Some practice mantra meditation or any other techniques, or just resting naturally in openness to the lineage. So then there are ways of, so that basically in this teaching and in this tradition of the lineage, there's no set way of putting an altar in place.
You are blowing my mind.
Yes, good. So you open up to and your altar. I didn't see it directly, but I'm sure you make it that you feel very, like connected to whatever you wish to be connected with, and then it would be the lineage. You might have images of the lineage there. We have actually, which we could send to you, an image of the lineage that Rinpoche, Wangde Rinpoche is holding and Ziti Rinpoche is holding. And then we have all the masters of the lineage, so to speak, in one image. So some have that, some have Ziti Rinpoche as an image because, of course, receiving teachings from her, and she embodied the lineage and the teachings, and that opens up to the depths of the lineage, which ultimately is like the lost presence of everything. So that's what open intelligence is. And then some have images of Ziti Rinpoche, Wangde Rinpoche, the entire lineage. And then, as I said, the yogas, the 3 yogas, Agoro yoga, Dakini yoga, and deity yoga, and Dakini yoga. And you have maybe heard of all the deities that are ultimately just the nature of your own mind with all its wisdom qualities. So they are also displayed on, some display them. So it's basically practice of who we are, ultimately open intelligence and the wisdom powers. Yeah. So very responsive.
Well, it was mind-blowing when I kind of realized at the beginning of your answer there, you told me that these aren't your words, but I kind of understood that the recognizing of open intelligence kind of transcends the need of the practices that that help me, and this is kind of a top-down kind of a perspective, and it's graspable for me. Thank you.
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. This really, and once that, with that realization of open intelligence becomes obvious, because so I was also always drawn with meditation and then getting to know the nature of mind. So the Four Mainstays deepened, well, first of all, stripped everything bare, then gave me the opportunity to gain confidence in open intelligence, in the nature of mind, deepen that realization. And then it is really, then you have that's the ultimate essence of everything. I don't need to practice. I don't need to meditate. There's really nothing to meditate and practice ultimately. However, then life brings up so many things, and then there's a forever deepening. There's never a destination. So that humility and openness brings the practice in as a lifestyle. It brings any kind of practice that one is drawn to, and that's very individual and unique, to deepen a realization that, that doesn't have a destination. That really, it's just every moment is complete in itself. So when I sit, that is just complete. I'm not doing it to get somewhere. At the same time, I am supporting my day. So it's very, and it ultimately doesn't matter if I sit in the morning or I don't. But sometimes it does matter, but it doesn't matter. But it does matter because then if I go into right away some stressful situations, everything is stressful, nothing is happening. But maybe I feel a bit better when I remember short moments and rest, and more actively. Yeah. So these are all examples of that. Actually, it is when you realize open intelligence, everything else is adjustable to whatever each one needs and wants. Yeah. I don't know if you want to share more here. And but I always, that's Great. I mean, maybe let's see if there are other questions and shares of short moments. We want to, but we'll announce it in the next few weeks. We want to schedule a 12 empowerments. This was like a 1 hour meeting per week, and to have the opportunity to go through the 12 empowerments. We'll share more in the next weeks because we'll schedule that probably for April. So a bit down the line. But and why I'm bringing that up, because it is the deepening of open intelligence I personally found in the process of the 12 empowerments that's like a boost. And because there you practice short moments, but you really look at your own data and the belief systems, like we shared today, what we build up as our identity. Some things are obvious, and some things they just run. It's like a program that's running, and we have never questioned it because it's what we've learned. So all of that is seen as appearances and energies of open intelligence. So nothing to fix. It's nothing like, okay, we are building one, we have one identity, now we have to build a resting identity, but it's like, it's nothing on that level. It's all as it is, outshining, because we have all tried to change habits or ways, changing oneself. That's really exhausting. So it is not doing that anymore and just relying on open intelligence. And just sounds like, okay, but it is a deep relying on open intelligence, allowing data to be as they are and knowing what they are. And in that, things change. And or not, but it doesn't matter. But things change to reveal the beneficial nature and reveal an ease of being that is inseparable of life, because life, it doesn't mean that life gets easier. So I mean, it might get easier actually, but it doesn't mean that life brings now better things upon us. We never know what happens next. So yeah, so that's the practice of finding stability and openness within. I wanted to share more about the 12 empowerments, but that's the essence of the 12 empowerments, seeing our own life and deepening the realization within. Yeah. We have our questions or shares. Another key part, maybe we can talk about that next time also, because I went to that slide, but it's the next one, the harmonizing relationship. But yeah, we can maybe go into that. Tessia?
Well, harmonizing relationship would be a really good topic to cover, especially with Valentine's Day being tomorrow. Yeah, I tried to join last week, but I was at a medical appointment waiting, so I really missed most of the call. But I've just been taking a lot of short moments. There's been a lot happening in my world. One thing I will share is that I was choking a couple of weeks ago, and taking short moments, I feel, helped me resolve that issue with the choking. Because I was like telling myself to relax while I had these supplements stuck in my throat, and although it was extremely uncomfortable and painful, I could like feel myself freaking out, and then I just had to tell myself to take short moments, and the wisdom just came to me to just keep chugging water, even though I was so full, and that was even uncomfortable in itself. But I was like, what else was I gonna do? You know, like I don't live in a place where I have neighbors that I feel like could come to my rescue. So yeah, I think short moments kind of saved my life. And I also, I think I'm in love, and it's like very interesting because it was very unexpected, and there have been a lot of thoughts and emotions and sensations with that, and they're more so pleasant, aside from my concern around like, will somebody with his data be able to love somebody with my data? And then like I've been getting like worried about that, and like worried about saying the wrong thing, and like worried about like, oh my god, did I like I just the feeling of embarrassing, feeling like I embarrassed myself with my being self-expressed towards him. So I've just been noticing like my anxious attachment showing up. And yeah, so he did reach out to me, and I didn't respond, and it's been like almost a month. So I've just been sitting with it and thinking about it and talking about it.
You didn't
Yeah.
respond for a month?
Yeah, like I haven't seen him in like a month, and he did call me and leave me a voicemail, and I didn't call back.
What's holding you back?
Just because I did let him know how I was feeling. Like I just told him that I really liked him. And yeah, basically he's my new physiotherapist, and it's really quite divine how I met him, because he ended up taking over ownership of the clinic I was going to for 10 months, just very suddenly. And so as a person who really doesn't go out to mingle and socialize, like I feel like it's really divine that like the universe would place him in my life in this capacity as my physiotherapist. So that comes with its own like bureaucracy and rules around like what can and cannot happen because of the professional relationship. So yeah, it's, you know, it's causing me to be concerned about like, did I say too much? Should I not say anything? Should I continue? Should I not continue? You know what I mean? Because of the legal ramifications.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Well, good, yeah. Well, I don't know much about that. So maybe then there's power to practice in your circumstance. That's what you're doing, and that's good. So, did you have a question, actually?
Question?
Yeah. Did you have a question? Or maybe you didn't have a question, right?
I was just wondering, like, like embarrassed or like wanting to express yourself, but then holding back out of fear. I don't know. I guess I'd hope that taking short moments would make it easier for me to know exactly.
You're breaking a bit up, but I'm getting
response.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm breaking up. Oh no.
You're breaking a bit up, yeah. But I'm getting what you're saying. I guess you're saying like how to rest and really find confidence in who you are, basically, with your expression. And it's about really the relationship with yourself. Saying, can I be myself? Can I be who I am? Can I rest as? Because it's exhausting to be something else and trying to, the fear of saying something wrong, the fear of. maybe not being liked due to that. But I think you're hinting to that, right?
Yes, and like also like because I've taken so long to respond or I haven't responded yet, like then their concerns rise out of about that as well. Like, oh my gosh, like you know what? Because I was hoping that sort of the right thing to say would come to me quickly all the time, you know, and that it wouldn't take weeks. You know what I mean? So just having that
Yes.
delay also, yeah.
Yes, it's about it, and the thinking about it won't bring you to knowing how to respond, because we have all these ideas. You never know, and it's really about your own confidence in you know, allowing these data of fearing what other people think about you to be as they are. You won't find a place where you don't have these data. It'll be impossible. They will always come. And the key is to respond and let those data be as they are. Because if you wait for a response where you don't feel like that, you might wait years. So it's about taking short moments, responding, and allowing the after commentary. We all know that. We say something, you think, was that the right thing to say? Will they like me? Will it be weird? But let these data be as they are and respond.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Otherwise, yeah. The place of rest is not in the data, in the right data. Like, oh, this was a good response. They'll definitely love me now. Waiting for that kind of display is like once in a lifetime, maybe. Now I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I'm making the point of waiting for data to be in the right place is what a life of ups and downs and limitations is, because we are waiting for our descriptions to be in the right place, which they most likely never are. Because data are unpredictable, countless, ceaseless, and learned habits and patterns, and you know, doesn't matter what we call them, they're data. You want to align yourself with your own nature, is that getting to know yourself. That's why getting to know yourself as that. Where there's love and compassion for yourself as you are. You know, you are who you are, and you respond in your style. And that's this. And if he doesn't like it, that's it. You know. But of course there are fears of but it's about do we love ourselves as we are? That's ultimately what is behind it, right? The self-love and acceptance of who we are as open intelligence with our data. And you know, there might be more skillful ways of being, and that comes about by resting naturally, but not about having the data we think we should have in place. Yeah. Yeah. Respond and rest with what comes up. That's where the flow is.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else has an experience about these things? Johan, was there anything else you see?
I just thought maybe we could ask. We're currently working on an updated app. I don't know. Are you all or some of you in the Short Moments app? Any app people? some. So we're working on a new version that would also integrate with the course platform. And so, if, for example, Kati mentioned the 12 empowerments. So if people do the 12 empowerments, the app would be integrated in a way into that, so people can, you know, stay in communication and touch in with other participants and practitioners. And so I just thought maybe we could see if there are any wishes, anything that you know, that you, from your experience with the current app, would like to see, anything you particularly enjoy. I just read yesterday from somebody who said that they like the visuals that we're posting every other day or so, along with the daily teachings. Others said they like the quotes. Other people, you know, people like different things. So since we're just in the middle of building this out a little more, I thought maybe you could give us any tips, any hints, what you like or would like, if it's not there at this time. And you can also, if nothing springs to mind right now, you can also reply to the emails or bring it next time. We think probably another 3 weeks or so. Is that right? Like 4 weeks or so, and then we should be ready to make that transition. There's also going to be a new introduction module, the ease of being. We just recorded the videos for that, which will, to all of you who have been here quite a few times, it will be familiar. There are some of the slides we've used here as well, and commentaries, and we share a bit about our experience. But I think somebody just tried to speak and then I kept talking.
It was me again.
Please, Liam, we're happy that you're engaging. Wonderful.
Thank you. It's kind of might or might not be related, but I'm wondering, since this practice seems to be able to transcend the forms that I'm used to working within, as far as, you know, being able to respond in different ways and not close the door on things. I'm really wondering what the end goal is. It seems very normal and natural, but is there anything that's going to jump out at me, like, and then we go to heaven, or and then we go to hell, or something like that? Or what is there any, what's the end? Is there an end goal, or is this just a daily kind of a tool? Thank you.
I'd love to hear what Kati has to say about that, but I thought about this yesterday. I'm working on a book chapter that I was asked or invited to write, and one question was, what's the roadmap for this practice? And you know, usually a roadmap leads from A to B, and that's how we start many practices, right? Like even though I never thought that enlightenment was possible in this lifetime, like secretly I did think if I do all these meditation practices, I will reach enlightenment. That was like from A to B, then that was B. I start in my little life with all the stuff that's going on. And then once I've gotten rid of all of it, I'll be all pure, and then I'll be enlightened. And so whatever the vehicle is that brings me from A to B, that's great. This actually, in my experience, the roadmap is just, it only has a starting point, and that's the introduction to open intelligence, to recognize the true nature of mind. You could call this is like awakening to our true nature. And from then on, it's an open-ended integration process. Like every moment of life is just living life fully, integrating, like digesting, absorbing, metabolizing all the experiences, and expanding our capacity to live our unique strengths, gifts, talents, you know, what, in a way, what we're here to express. You know, all of us are so unique and have our unique disposition. And in my experience, the more deeply you know, and I've done this for 18 years, this practice now, and still there is more recognition, still there is more opening. And but the more I'm resting in that essence of my being, the more spontaneous and confident and empowered the acting and the speaking is. Like one's mind is at rest and knows itself as it for what it really is, it can then inform our speech and our actions. And I don't see any endpoint in this. And I saw this really sweet video clip the other day with Dzogchen Rinpoche, who is like a Dzogchen Lama who has passed away, I think, in the maybe 90s or so already. So he's not here, but there's a there is this like little clip with him where a little kid asks him, "What is the difference between money and enlightenment?" And then he responds, "Money you can finish, enlightenment is never finished." And I thought that was really profound. You know, like there's this incredible master who spent like so much of his life studying and practicing and devoting all his life to practice, and he just said, you know, there is no end to this. And typically a practitioner of Dzogchen would always see them as, you know, practitioners, because you never know what the next data stream will be, right? So there is always more to practice, more to recognize. And Kati, is there anything? Do you see an endpoint?
Well, the traditions say that the practice is there for to prepare for the final datum, which is death. And in that way, there's a continuous practice. But there's also a teaching and a power in not having an endpoint, because every endpoint has a definition, and that just doesn't go along with the realization of what is the spontaneity of everything. So there cannot be an endpoint of realization, just in the realization being the realization of everything that is. So, but in a very human experience, and that's what we are sharing, is that we describe, yes, we describe everything, and we gain more confidence in open intelligence. So that's, we can describe it in a very practical way, and this is okay to do, and also important to do, because then we speak open intelligence in a way that everybody can understand. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you all. Shall we pause here, Jochen? Maybe we can see what is next week's topic, but we'll
That's good.
We'll see. Yes, okay, great. We'll meet again next week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you.